This is a short video to help you work on your lab report at home. I'm going to remind you first how to create new variables in the brand new SPSS dataset. So when the new SPSS data file opens, this is what you will see. This is the data view. Actually, you can go back and forth between data view and variable view. These are two little tabs at the left bottom corner of the screen. Data view and variable view. In the data view, we're going to put in the numbers. In the variable view, we're going to define the variables. So I'm going to help you create 3 variables from the set that you will be working on at home, and the rest of them you will create by yourself. Okay, the first one that we're going to create is going to be age. Okay, so we asked every person how old they were. So I'm going to type in age. Make sure you are in variable view, that the tab variable view is checked. Okay, type in age. Now, in the label column, I'm going to give a short definition for age. It's going to be participant age in numbers, in years. Participant age in years. Now, there may be situations when people did not answer this question in the survey, or there also may be situations when they gave us an answer but we decided that we did not believe what they told us. For instance, if somebody said that they are 1 year old, or more likely that you will see that in their survey forms, you will see that somebody answered that they were 1 year old. It's very likely to be a mistake. It's an error. Probably they wanted to say that they were 18, but they only typed 1. Either way, no answer or a bad answer that we don't believe, we would need to identify those data points as bad so that the program will exclude them from further computations. So go to the column that says missing. This is the column that will help us identify the values that should be taken out of the dataset. Click on the missing values cell for age, and when you click on it, a little blue square appears on the right hand side. So click on the square and it will give you the missing values window. Alright, select the discrete missing values radio button, and we're going to type in 2 kinds of numerical codes. One type for no answers, and the other type will be for the answers that we chose that we do not believe. Okay, every -9 will stand for a no answer. A person didn't tell us their age. And every -8 will stand for the answer that we did not believe. Click OK. And now that we have named and identified the properties of age as a variable, we're going to type in the numbers. So now go to Data View, click on the Data View tag, and we're going to type in the ages of our participants in the column that says age. So the first person was 21. The second person didn't tell us their age, therefore we put in the code of -9. The third person was 18. The next person was 17. The next person was 21. And the last person has a code of -8, which means they gave us an answer, but we decided that's not a good answer. Maybe they told us that they were 300 years old. Maybe they wanted to say that they were 30, but then they just, by mistake, typed an extra 0. Okay, we're done with age, and I'm going back to variable view, and in the variable view I'm going to create another variable, and it's going to be happiness. I'll call it HAP, and the abbreviation will stand for happiness. In the survey, we asked every participant to give us a rating of happiness in their lives, how happy they are in their lives, on a scale from 1 to 10. And if they're close to 1, that means they're not very happy with their lives. And if they're close to 10, that means that they are quite happy with their lives. And of course, everybody will be in between. So we will very rarely have people who are so unhappy that they will tell us that their happiness score is 1. And again, very rarely we will have people who are so ecstatic in their lives that they will give us a happiness rating of 10. So, but everybody will be somewhere in between 1 and 10. So that's what I'm going to type in the label so that I have a definition of the variable. So it's going to be happiness with life rating. And also in parentheses, I'm going to type in that we used the scale from 1 to 10. Okay, 1 through 10 scale. All right, when you name variables in SPSS, there are 2 rules important to remember when you give the names, like we gave the names here, age and happiness. You cannot start a name of the variable with a number. SPSS will not record that as a variable and will give you an error message. You can also not have spaces. So if you want to have 2 words as the name of your variable, you can have that, but you can separate the 2 words with any character, preferably underscore, but not a space. So, no numbers in the beginning of the variable name and no spaces. Okay, we're now going to proceed and identify the missing values for happiness. So, some people could have given us no answer for this. Maybe they didn't want to tell us about this. So I'm going to click on the missing values cell for happiness, and it will give me the little blue square. And I click on the square, and then it will give me the missing values window. Now, click on the radio button that says discrete missing values, and we're going to introduce the code of -9 for all people who didn't answer that question. Click OK. Now we're ready to put in the actual happiness scores. So go back to Data View, click on Data View tab here, and we're going to type in the happiness numbers, which are going to be 3 for person number 1, 4 for person number 2, 5 for person number 3, -9, which means no answer for person number 4, 8 for person number 5, and 7 for person number 6. If we look at the numbers, you can tell that the lowest happiness score we got from the participant number 1. So that person is fairly unhappy with their lives. And the highest rating we have from participant number 5, who has a rating of 8, which is the closest to 10 that we have. And also person number 4 chose not to give us an answer to this question. Okay, I'm going to create one more, and for that I will go to Variable View. So click on the Variable View tab. The last one that I'm going to work on is going to be spell. So spell is this variable that will represent every participant's score on a 20-item spelling quiz. So that's what I'm going to type in the label column. Score on a 20-item spelling quiz. All right. Now, also, there are 2 kinds of bad answers that we don't want to be in our computations that we need to identify, and we will put them in the missing values column. So click on the missing values for spell. Click on discrete missing values radio button. And we're going to have a code of -9 for all people who did not take the quiz. And we're going to have a code of -8 for all people who did not finish the quiz. Did not take or did not finish, one way or the other, the score that they have, which might be a 0 or whatever score for the incomplete test, these scores will not represent people's actual spelling ability. And if these scores do not represent their actual spelling ability, then we do not need the scores in our analysis. They need to be excluded. So click OK. And we're now ready to go into the data view and type in the numbers. Okay, data view tab, the new variable that's set up for us. On the lab report, it says that the first person's score for the spelling quiz was 18. The next person has a -9 as their score, which means that they did not take the quiz. The next person has 19. Then the next person has 20, which is a perfect score. The next one has 12, not a very good speller. And the last person has -8, which stands for the score that the code of -8 stands for not finishing the quiz. Okay, looking at these numbers, we can tell that participant number 4 had the highest score. He was a perfect speller. And then participant number 5 was the least successful from all our participants. And then scores from participant number 2 and a score from participant number 6 should be tossed out because they do not represent these people's spelling ability. Okay, now you can go on and continue to create the rest of the variables, and in the next video I'll show you how to do data transformations. Good luck!